Coach, thank you for joining us on the call today. If you would take a minute to tie up the game against Temple and what you expect as you head to Orlando Saturday to face UCF, please.
Yeah, we got off to a good start against Temple, and then they had some big plays on us. So we've got to find a way to be able to stop the one-on-one situations from occurring on us. Moving forward, I thought that their defensive line put a lot of pressure on our offensive front throughout the game. They did a really, really good job on defense. And offensively, like I said, they won those one-on-one matchups. Moving forward with UCF, we're looking at a team that's playing as well as anybody that we've played at this point in time. Offensively, they do a good job of stretching you out horizontally in the run game, and then they do a good job of stretching you vertically in the passing game. So the combination of those two with all the speed that they have and the great quarterback, Milton, they've been able to play at a high level. But the real transition in this football team, I think, has been on defense. They're playing as fast and as sound as anybody that we've seen to this point. And we're looking forward to the battle because that's exactly what it's going to be. They're a really, really good football team. A lot of speed on special teams at any time. Both returners can take it back on you. So all around a great football team.
Questions for Coach Montgomery, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
We'll go next to Trace Troca with Nightline.
Coach, Hayden Moore, Cincinnati quarterback, was able to get some success against the Knights defense. What opportunities do you see for your offense against UCF?
I mean, there were some opportunities that he was able to get going on. I thought he did a good job in the intermediate game of throwing the football. But they also forced him into some situations that he didn't necessarily like. I think the one thing that we've got to do in the intermediate game is that we've got to create the ability to run the football just like he did. I thought he did a good job of running the football. So hopefully if we can get some quarterback runs going, we can create a little bit more space between the second and third level, which he did, and hopefully we'll be able to complete some of those balls and not get forced into some of the situations.
And defensively, one more question for you, please. UCF is high-flying, top offense in the country. What can you do to slow them down?
The first thing you got to do is eliminate the big plays. They don't need very many plays to score. What they're doing is they're scoring over the top of everybody, and then they're hitting home runs from the backfield. So the first thing that you got to do is we at least got to play top down. A lot of their plays are coming in 2- and 3-play drives. We got to play top down, and then we get a chance to tackle them on the perimeter. We got to tackle them because those guys are elusive. But the biggest part of their ability to be elusive is that once they do make you miss, they can score. They got world-class speed at some positions.
Thank you, Coach.
We'll go next to Ronnie Woodward with the Greenville Daily Reflector.
Hey, Coach, you've touched on some of the stuff with UCF already, obviously, but just wondering nationally, and I know they've cracked into the rankings here, but do you feel like they're a team that's dangerous, and maybe from a national perception or whatever, people don't realize maybe how dangerous they are or could be?
I think that they're playing at a really, really high level. I think everybody nationally that are coaches probably are watching them a lot more than, per se media. I also thought that, they used the time, they used their time wisely this year. Everything they've been able to continue to grow. You can see it on tape. They've grown their run game, they've grown their pass game. Defensively, they're gelled together. So I think nationally on that level, I think a lot of coaches are paying close attention to this team because it is a team, if you look at it as well, they're playing with some juniors and seniors, and that's what gets the eyes of a lot of coaches, teams that are playing well with juniors and seniors, because they usually have the ability to stand the test of time.
Okay. Thanks, Scottie.
We'll go next to Joey Knight with the Tampa Bay Times.
Scottie, I'm writing about how all the schedules in the league, or most of them, had to be revised in the wake of the hurricane. You guys had to make some concessions. A very difficult early part of the schedule for you guys got a little bit tougher. And the commissioner said if anybody had said no, he wouldn't have forced the issue. Was that a tough decision for you guys to make?
It was tough, especially when it was brought to me, just because, there's a lot that goes into it. Selfishly, at times you probably want to say, no, let's keep it exactly the way it is. But there's a lot of kids that had the ability to play their last game or some of their last games in college football. There's communities that were, in a whole lot of need And there was just a lot of circumstances that morally I would have never felt comfortable saying, no to it. Just because, we may have lost a day or we may have had to add a game when we had an open date and all this. But, at the end of the day, you still have to play football games. Our schedule was really, really tough and has been tough. But we're going to make it through it. And at the end of the day, I wanted to make sure that this was a decision not made out of selfish nature, but I have a moral compass that I like to adhere to as well. And that was one of those situations to where you think about, our nation, you think about our players, you think about these kids out here that have prepared all year for these opportunities. So you want to give them the most of the opportunities that they have.
Thanks, Scottie.
We'll go next to Mark Narducci with the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Hey, Coach, your quarterback, Thomas Sirk, has hurt a lot of people with his arm, but his legs as well. Temple kept him in check. What happened in that game? What did they do to kind of do such a good job against him?
I think they stressed us at defensive end a lot more than anybody had stressed us. They gave our tackles problems, so it was hard for them to break the pocket, whether we were in the run game or in the pass game. They did a good job of midpoint in some of the reads, which you have to be extremely athletic and big to do, which they were. And then, in the passing game, I just felt like we left a lot of plays out there on the field. We had some drops. But once again, some patterns were really, really good patterns against their defense. But their defensive front made Thomas get off the ball a little bit earlier than he would have liked to be. So we're looking forward to getting him back rolling this week, and we got to get him going in the run game. But I thought they did a good job at defensive end. And we're really, really sound, good football team.
Thank you.
And do we have any final questions for Coach Scottie Montgomery, please? Star 1 on your telephone keypad, if so. Well, Coach, thanks for your time today. Look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
Thank you.